Hi, I'm George Brooke, CEO of International Documents Canada. When you need to have a Canadian document certified as legal in another country, it needs to go through a process called document authentication and legalization. This process is also known as the apostille process. A lot of people find authenticating and legalizing a Canadian document to be frustrating, annoying, and confusing. At IDC, we specialize in managing the authentication and legalization process for people just like you. We see the same mistakes being made over and over again, so to help you avoid the most common pitfalls in document authentication and legalization, we've prepared this short video. I'm going to give you 3 essential tips that will help you save time, money, and aggravation. Let's get started. First tip, pay attention to time. Depending on the time of year, when you send your documents into the Department of Foreign Affairs and International Trade for authentication, it can take anywhere from 7 to over 40 business days for them to process your documents. The solution? Either budget for this time or use a professional service like IDC. We can have your documents authenticated in as little as 1 day. Second tip, think about the value of your original document. In many cases, your original document is quite valuable. A lot of people are nervous about releasing a valuable document into the authentication and legalization process, not wanting to risk loss or damage. The solution? You can often use what's known as a certified true copy for the authentication and legalization process rather than using your original document. I've written an article about using certified true copies in the authentication and legalization process, which you can find here. Now, if you want the maximum in peace of mind about the safety of your documents, my company, IDC, provides a secure chain of custody throughout the authentication and legalization process. Your document is always with an IDC specialist unless released directly into the custody of the Department of Foreign Affairs or the relevant embassy for processing. And the third tip, pay attention to details. When preparing your documents for the authentication and legalization process, pay attention to the details. They matter. Follow the specific guidelines established by the Department of Foreign Affairs and the embassy of the country in question, because a mistake will often mean you need to start the process over from the beginning. Now, here's the complication. Each embassy has its own unique rules and regulations regarding the authentication and legalization process. There are no standard requirements. They are different for every country. This can make the process of researching the specific procedures for your document quite challenging. Solution. Our company, IDC, has partnered with the Canadian Manufacturers and Exporters Association, the largest trade association in Canada, to develop the Authentication and Legalization Info Center. This is the authoritative information resource for anyone needing to get a Canadian document through the authentication and legalization process. It's completely free and provides a wealth of essential information. We're adding to it and updating info all the time. It's a great place to start. I also recommend talking directly with the embassy of the country in question to confirm their requirements. But I also know how difficult it can be to get hold of an embassy official with answers. This can be a challenge. Your other option is to use the services of a professional firm. At IDC, we take care of all the details of the authentication and legalization process for you. Because we handle all aspects of the process, you don't need to worry. I hope these 3 tips help you avoid some of the most common pitfalls we see in the authentication and legalization process. To wrap up, I'd like to give you some additional resources you can turn to for help with authenticating and legalizing your documents. If you're looking for more info on authenticating and legalizing a Canadian document, we've created a short video that covers the basics called Document Authentication and Legalization in Canada. And don't forget the wealth of information on the Authentication and Legalization Info Center website. I hope you can check it out. And finally, at IDC, we are here to answer any further questions you may have. Give us a call or send us a quick email. We'd welcome a chance to discuss your authentication and legalization needs. Until then, I'm George Brooke, International Documents Canada.